Back another album review. Today's review is on Take Me Back to Eden by Sleep Token. This is the third album from these guys, and marked the turning point for these guys to become huge. It was produced by Vessel and Carl Baun, meaning this is their first album that was made without their previous collaborator, George Lever. Carl also engineered the album while Stig Carey mastered it. The album was released on May 19th, 2023 on Spinefarm Records, which was 2 years ago as of the making of this video. This is also the last album these guys released on Spinefarm. More on that later. Vessel and Two did all the instrumentals by themselves. This album still retains the band's signature alternative metal and progressive metal sound, but also incorporates elements of metalcore, djent, blues, funk, electronic, R&B, and pop. By pop, I don't mean that overproduced corporate bullshit that we have in the 21st century. On a side note, Linkin Park also incorporated some elements of R&B when making One More Light. Anyways, let's talk about the songs. The beginning of this album is Chokehold, which was released as a single on January 5th, 2023. One time someone donated a large plush chicken to my store. I showed the plush chicken to some of my coworkers while I had it in a chokehold, and I said I was choking the chicken. They both thought that was funny. The next track is The Summoning, which was released as a single on January 6, 2023. I mentioned that 2023 was the year I started listening to this band. After that is Granite, which was released as a single on January 19th, 2023. This album is a hodgepodge of different genres. Next up is Aqua Regia, which was released as a single on January 20th, 2023. I remember seeing a meme describing the R&B part of one of the songs as being sexy. Up next is Vor, which was released as a single on February 16th, 2023. I don't need to explain what Vor is. I'm not into that stuff, and I typically avoid people who are into it. I also saw someone on Blue Sky make a post about Vor, and I replied by including a link to this song. We followed up with Ascensionism. This is the first track on the album that wasn't released as a single. That's followed by Are You Really Okay? That's a good question. Right after that is The Apparition. I've never been a fan of R&B, but these guys made it work. I know it's a hot take, but I think these guys did it better than Linkin Park. What's next is DYWTYLM, which was released as a single on April 20th, 2023. Vessel was a solo writer, and the title stands for Do You Wish That You Loved Me? What's after that is Rain. This is not a cover of the song by The Cult, just so we're clear. The second to last track is Take Me Back to Eden, which is the title track. I'm not sure I'm not sure exactly where Eden is supposed to be. The ending of this album is Euclid. I think the reason why these guys decided to touch upon R&B was to make sure the album sounds different compared to the previous material that they made. When researching this album, I read that it was number 16 on the Billboard 200, 2 on the US Top Alternative and Hard Rock albums, and 4 on the US Top Rock albums and Independent albums. It was also number 3 in the UK, and number 2 on the UK Rock and Metal albums. It was even certified gold in the UK. That is quite an accomplishment. As for the critics, there were mostly positive reviews. The Best of Line Fit and Metal Injection thought it was okay, but some trashy-ass hipster fucktard at Clash thought it was mediocre. Now for my thoughts. I think this is a great album. I had my doubts when I read these guys incorporated elements of R&B and pop, but they made it work by some miracle. In some ways, I feel like that kind of holds the album back, but the metal elements are certainly the best part. Hell, I even included this on my list of the best albums of 2023. It's just that God Mode by In This Moment was a better album. More on that in the future. Overall, I recommend checking out this album. And now is the part where I question you. Have you listened to Take Me Back to Eden? If so, what do you think about it? What's your favorite song from it? What are your thoughts on these guys venturing into R&B and pop? Now, let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to press the notification bell to notify of future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with another review.